Why should I get pre-approved for the mortgage? That's the question that many of my clients ask me. My name is Lakeisha Cunningham with the Cunningham team, and I actually have John Thomas with Primary Residential Mortgage here with us today to answer that question for you.
Hey, Lakeisha, that's a great question. So why do you want to get pre-approved for a mortgage before you go shopping for a home? Well, the biggest reason is you can't even write an offer on a property without being pre-approved or have a letter that says you have, or have a bank statement showing you have cash to buy the house. So most of our clients need to get pre-approved because they don't have the cash to buy the house. So when you're looking at a home that's for sale, it's being listed by a listing agent and a seller, and that seller is not going to take their house off the market without you showing proof that you can get the loan to buy the house.
Correct.
So that's the biggest reason out there, and then the other reason is the pre-approval tells you and your client what they can actually afford, what loan programs are available. Because one of the things is if you get pre-approved for an FHA loan to purchase a home, which is a great loan program for a lot of first-time home buyers, there's some houses on the market which says you can't buy it with
FHA.
And what's the big reason? Usually what?
Usually because the house requires some type of repairs that FHA will not allow.
Great. So in that case, the only way you're going to buy it is with a renovation loan or cash. So getting qualified for a renovation loan is different than just getting qualified for a regular loan. So you can still buy it, but you would need to do a different type of pre-approval for a renovation loan. So that's the biggest reason, is to make sure you're able to buy the house. You know what houses to show them, what price range. You know if they have to ask for any closing cost assistance.
Yes.
Because you can't even show them the house or write an offer without having the pre-approval done, because once you negotiate that contract and then they get pre-approved and you realize you only asked for 5,000 seller assist, now you need 8, what's the seller going to say?
The seller really is going to limit what they've given you. If you've already agreed to receive a certain amount of closing cost assistance, they're not going to change or increase that amount just because your need has increased. So it's best that you have the information up hand so that you're able to submit an offer, and you know what your out-of-pocket expenses are going to be, and you're prepared so that the offer doesn't eventually end up falling apart.
Great. And then one of the other questions I get asked a lot is, what's the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval? So, and there's a huge difference. A pre-qualification is you talk to somebody on the phone, you let them check your credit, and you tell them what income you have and what money you have, and they verify nothing. That today is pretty much useless, and most listing agents won't even accept a pre-qual.
That's correct.
A pre-approval, the big difference is you do the same steps. You give them all your information, they do check your credit, but then you have to provide all the documentation to back that up: pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, bank statements, whatever is applicable. And it's not a question of, oh, this bank pre-qualified me, I don't have to present that documentation. You're going to have to present it. The question is just when. The pre-qual, you're going to present it after you're under contract. You may have 30 days to close. Then you give the documents, and then the underwriter looks at it and might say, oh, no, you don't qualify for that loan. So the reason everybody wants you pre-approved first is they want someone to look at all the documentation and go, yes, you are pre-approved for this loan. Just go find a house. So a pre-approval is kind of like walking around with a check. A pre-qual is like walking around with a piece of paper that doesn't mean much.
Okay. And one of the things that with a pre-approval, and you should want to obtain a pre-approval if you're shopping for a property, is because you are able to submit an offer with a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification letter. Most sellers will not remove their house from the market with a pre-qualification letter. They would really like for you to have a pre-approval, which shows that they have verified the documentation. Everything that you told them is actually true. They were able to look at your pay stubs. Just verify that the way that you've presented yourself as a buyer has actually been validated. And that increases your probability of getting the house that you want. So we all recommend that you obtain a pre-approval prior to shopping for a property.
That's great advice.
Thank you so much for watching our episode today. Our next episode is actually going to be on how much money you need for a down payment. So if you're ready to get out and start looking for your house, the next step is to get pre-approved. John's actually going to share with you how you can do so.
You can give our team a call at 302-703-0727, or you can go online, www.delawaremortgageloans.net. Tons of information on there and a link to go ahead and get started with the pre-approval right online.
Thank you so much for being with us,
Thank you.
John. Thank you.